Well, good morning, everybody. This is Dear Mama Sal, and it's Thursday. You know I love Thursdays. Apparently, I've lost my voice this morning. Excuse me. It looks like it rained overnight. Not seriously, but just enough that I'm sure all the grass and the flowers and everything else were going, shower at last. Because we've had nearly a month without any rain, which in British Columbia is sort of like unusual. We're known for our rain. So it feels fresh. However, it's quite overcast in lots of places, and I realized that I didn't bring a jacket or anything. It's just rain, right? But I thought I heard in that split second when I got into the car that we could be having thunderstorms. And look how I'm dressed. Just rain with noise, right? So I don't really have to be scared. And if the worst that happens, I get wet, then who's going to see me? I mean, really? It's just rain. I can handle that. Okay. All right, so it's a funny sort of feeling to get to the end of yet another week. They seem to go past so quickly. And you understand each week that goes past now, we're in August, it's one less week to my birthday. And the idea of becoming 66 just doesn't sort of make sense to me. I don't feel 66. Just a number. Oh, and by the way, for those of you who enjoyed Dougie that time he came on and chatted to you all, he's going to come back and visit for my birthday at the end of the month. It's the last Friday of the month. He told me he's coming to visit me then, so we'll probably get another session in quickly. So get your questions ready for him. And the week before that, of course, is our 1-year anniversary on DearMamaSal. And Benji said he was coming up. I'm not sure if both Benji and Judy are coming up, but Benji said for sure he would come up and join us. So that'll be a fun evening. And obviously we will do a broadcast if he's here. Well, we'll do a broadcast anyway. Rats. Of course we will do a broadcast. It's like, goes without saying. So tomorrow I get to take young Zachary off to the movies. I still don't know which movie we're going to see. So, but I am looking forward to it. I'm sure we'll eat lots of stuff that I'm not meant to eat, and hopefully laugh lots as well. I have not been to the movies in a movie theatre. Wow. It's so long. I think the last time I did that, maybe with his father. That's scary. I just don't go to the movies in the movie theater. Wow. Love to watch movies, but not that way. Netflix is my way. That's really quite scary, isn't it? And yet they did say that when we got internet, that it would be the death of movie theaters. I don't see that happening, do you? I still see plenty of movie theaters, and I see plenty of movies being launched for movie theaters. So think of it were going to be the end of it, it would have happened already. I think what we have had, though, and I don't know if anybody else agrees with me, I think we've had, in some ways, bigger films. You know what I mean? More epic films. They're less of what I call the almost B-rated movies. Most of the films that come out are worth seeing. Some don't fit that bill, but a lot of them do. And and they're big, and their sound effects are good, and they have to do that. The visual effects and the sound effects, that's the reason people go to the movie theaters, is to get the 3D sound and to get the, the surround sound and the 3D imagery and all those sort of things. That's what people go to the theater for now. So they need to keep doing that to keep people going to the theaters. And if some of you probably have seen an IMAX movie, well, there's something that really blows your mind, doesn't it? I mean, I didn't think I was ever going to get my eyeballs back in my sockets when I went to an IMAX movie. It was just, that is so awesome. It's like an eyeball go back in. It was, I can't remember what I saw now, but I did really enjoy it. I just thought that was incredible. And I remember when I first went, why would anybody go and see one of these? And I came out and going, now I know why. That really is quite something to see. I was wondering, actually, what you thought about, what was the right age, shall I say, for young people to start playing with makeup. And the reason I asked that is I had a really delightful viewer of ours, and she's been a constant viewer, ask me what age she was, I think she said she was grade 8, and did I think that was an okay age to be wearing makeup? Well, what I think about that is irrelevant, because I'm not the parent. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's a parental thing. It's not a DearMamaSal thing. Because some parents will say, oh, absolutely, and others will say, not for another year, or whatever. So, but the interesting thing is that she wanted to know how to approach her mum, because her mum had said that when she was in grade 8 she could start wearing makeup. And I said to her to actually get rid of that word wearing makeup and replace it with playing with makeup. Because if you say, I'd like to play with makeup and just see what it looks, see how to put it on, and I know I'll make a total mess, but I'd like to play with it. It gives a different thought process than I want to wear makeup now. Yeah, that sounds defiant almost. And whereas, what kid doesn't want to play with makeup? And most 5-year-olds are playing with makeup in some way or another. And so I think it's much more acceptable for parents, if those younger teens, if you talk in terms of playing with makeup rather than wearing makeup. So I hope that's helpful to you. And I really appreciated the question, because it made me sit down and think about, okay, fine, what would be an acceptable way of talking about this to a parent? And then the question was, there was a comment about the fact that her father had said, I'm so glad that you don't mix with girls that wear lots of makeup. And my viewer heard that as her father didn't like makeup at all. That's not what he said. He said he was glad that she didn't mix with girls who wore lots of makeup. So the expectation is probably that she will wear some. And what my suggestion was to her was to keep it very neutral. Keep the makeup that she plays with. Keep the palettes light, and you know, less is more. Because if she goes with light palettes, you know, subtle palettes rather than dramatic palettes, I don't think anybody's going to have a major fit at all. Now, if you suddenly go from being a kid with no makeup into being somebody wearing gothic makeup, yeah, expect a reaction. Expect to be grounded for life. You understand the difference. So one is, you know, just do it gently. Do it, you know, like everything in life. You don't make a huge deal of it, make a small deal of it. And people can accept small changes much more easily than big ones. And, you know, it's not like it's unexpected. I think my viewer's problem was the fact that her mother doesn't wear makeup. And a lot of people don't today. We understand that. So it's not like she can go and play with mummy. But for sure, mummy did wear makeup when she was in high school. So this is called, she has some knowledge here. It's really difficult, and I want you to know that I remember it only too well. It's really difficult going from child to teen. I think it's one of the most difficult transitions there is, because you're growing up in your body and your mind in some ways, but you don't have any of control. When I say you don't have any control, you know, you still don't get to make your own decisions. You want to be grateful for that, by the way. Be grateful that you don't make all your own decisions yet. I'm sure that all my viewers who are over the age of 30 will tell you there are days that they wish they could go back to the days where the food was put on the table, the electricity bills were paid miraculously, food miraculously appeared in the fridge all the time, and you know, there was a roof over their heads, and all they had to do was play and do their schoolwork. I mean, I think there are a lot of us that go, yeah, those were the days. So that would be another point that I would make, which is, I know you've probably heard this and you hate to hear it, but I'm going to tell you anyway, which is enjoy the last of your days as a child. Once they're gone, you don't really get them back. Well, you know, I refuse to grow up, so, you know, you can sort of still play, be childish, but, you know, you are responsible. Okay, I just so carefully moved across this road like a good driver would, and then they've closed off this part of the road, my side of it. Okay. I can live with it. So I have great memories of being that age, I must admit, and I'll have to start sort of thinking about discussing some of those so that some of the viewers will feel a little easier. But it is a great time. Really, really great time of your life. You learn so much so quickly. And you know, I think it's a time as well in this day and age where you have to understand why parents are so incredibly frightened and try so hard to keep you protected. It feels horrible to you as young people, but I really do want you to know that, boy, they really are trying to protect you from what could happen to you. I'm not sure that all these bad things are any worse today than they were in my day. I think the difference is that the media is different. People talk about these things more. So part of the reason that parents don't want you to wear makeup and start wearing adult clothing as much and doing those sort of things, and to be provocative, is they don't want you to attract trouble, either from your peer group or from the outside world. And you know, you gotta love them for that. I mean, I know you hate them for that as well, but you gotta love them for that. There are so many people who don't have anybody that cares. So, as usual, it was really great to get the question, and I really appreciated getting the question. In fact, it was a series of questions over the course of 24 hours. And you know, when you ask a question like that, it reminds me of the things that people of that age are going through. And so I was really grateful to get it and to be able to reply to it. So, as usual, thank you so much, because if you don't ask the question, it doesn't come to my mind, and therefore I'm not going to talk about it here. And hopefully this will help some young people. And of course, I'm also talking to a large number of mums. So let's have a quick chat to the mums. Yes, I would say in the same way, don't let stop your young teenager from playing with makeup. Encourage them to play and help them get, you know, the light colors that are going to, you know, that they can still do all the practicing with, but it's still going to look interesting. And then, you know, every now and then, just compliment them on how well they are doing with that. Because one of the most difficult things to do, I think, is to wear a light palette well. When I say wear it well, but, you know, it just looks so nice when you do it. I watch Kylie, is it? Kaylee, I think. The young, I think she's 8 or whatever, does the beauty videos. And I just love what she does. Because it's like, here is a mother that is allowing her child to play with makeup. And obviously, this young lady is going to be a big YouTube sensation in her own right. Well, I think it's quite a safe hobby in some ways, don't you? I would rather my child were playing with makeup than playing with a few other things out there. So again, think about that. I think makeup is a really healthy hobby for a girl to have. And that's what it is, a hobby. And on that thought, I'm going to thank you so much for watching as usual, and hope that you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon or evening whenever you're watching this. And hopefully that it's been helpful. Feel free to send me your comments. Please remember to subscribe if you haven't before. If you subscribe to our Facebook and Twitter pages, then you'll always know when we're going to do a tiny chat broadcast, because I always put them up just before I do them. The other thing is, if you are somebody who checks the DearMamaSal.com website, there is a countdown clock there, and if I'm going to be broadcasting, and normally within about 12 hours, I will put it up there. I sometimes don't do that if I do what I call a spontaneous broadcast. So do that, and let me know what sort of things you'd like me to talk about, if they've got anything that you particularly like me to discuss in the coming weeks. I can't say that I will, but it's always nice to know the sort of topics that people would like me to be talking about. Alright, have a wonderful morning, afternoon or evening. Be kind to one another. Don't take life too seriously. And above all, have fun. This is DearMamaSal saying bye for now.